Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Real Hacker Hours podcast. This is where I basically just do the normal work I would do on just random side projects. I just hit the record button before I do it. In this episode, we're going to be reversing out Apache modules. What a module is it's sort of like in rough terms, a piece of code that Apache can like import, which provides additional functionality. And I'm going to start reversing it. I will start with the module loading functionality. Now, let's go to our binary. Cool, so HTTPD, that is the actual Apache binary itself. Now, one thing just how Apache works is it loads modules when you start up the server. So, in order to see that process, we are going to throw it in GDB. Now, excuse me, Apache is an open source project, so we have the source code. So now the reason why we don't just straight up just go through and read all of it is because there's a ton of it there, so doing that isn't always the best route. What I plan on doing is just through some grepping through the source code I found load module. So I'm just going to set a breakpoint for this, see if I hit it, and from there I can see the code path that is taken, and so I know, oh hey, these are the functions that are called in this order, and then that will tell me exactly what in the source code I need to look at in order to understand exactly what's happening. So let's set a breakpoint for here. Cool. Breakpoint is set, and now we're going to run it, and we see that we've hit it, and we see that it's something called one of the arguments is like modules mod auth in file.so. Now, let me see if I remember this. Apache 2. So, mods enabled. So what this directory has is it's supposed to store a conf file for every module that Apache has. I know there's a command like a2nmod. According to a Google search I did yesterday, all that does is it basically just creates a symlink to the conf file in this directory. And we see here mod auth and file.so, auth and file.load. I'm just gonna see, like, this is probably gonna say it's a symlink. Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is some sort of just clear text file that. Oh no, it's an actual .so file. Okay, cool. So it isn't that. That being said, so we know that this function is ran, and let's see what is the context it is ran from. Okay, so we know that all of these functions are also ran. Main. AP build config so invoke command. This seems like an interesting, an interesting function. But let's just take a look at load module. What does this do? Get module Actually, what are the parameters? A command dummy, not sure what that is. The name of the module and the file name. So RDI is the commands. Looks like it's a struct to something. RSI is dummy. I honestly don't know what that is. Maybe it's something like diagnostic output, but I honestly don't know. RDX third argument is the name of the module. We see it's auth and file mod, and RCX is the file path. Cool. So let's see. I'm going to copy this into a separate tab so I can do some easy control Fs on it. Now let's do file name. is only referenced in two places. DSL load the file into Apache address space. Okay, cool. Let's see. Does that function get called? I'm guessing it does, since file name is only referenced in two spots in this function, and one of them is the argument, so it probably is referenced. That line is executed too. Breakpoint 2. Cool, we hit that. Okay. Let's see, where is this function? Since this function looks like it's actually responsible for loading it into memory. DSL load. Wait. Okay, so this is the function actually responsible for loading it in. However, it looks like it's a wrapper for other things, well, other function calls. Full name gets the full file name. Oh, yeah, the full name. So it looks like all the DSL load does, just off a quick glance, is it gets the full name for it, runs a few checks, and then calls APR DSL load, which that is probably the function where it actually happens. But that is not in this file, or source code file, so let's take a look and see if we can't find where that is. grep tech ir. And we see, hang on a second, what is the if? Okay, so these are the results we get for gripping for it. This is not it, this is just setting that equal to that. DSL load if rv. I'm HTTPD. Okay, I'm not seeing a source. Sorry for bringing on the mic for a second. I'm not seeing a source code file where it has that established. Hang on. I'm gonna just try in case if there's some APRDS. Yeah, that's where that is. Okay. That appears to not have that in there. Okay, not quite sure what that's going on, to be frank. Perhaps. Actually, hang on one second. Okay, yeah, perhaps like what's happening there is maybe like in the source code there's like something happening that it would not be visible to a grep, but APR. Wait, is APR load? Is that an actual like am I just smooth braining this DSO load? I'm gonna this might be like a function as part of one of the standard libraries. Apache portable runtime. No. Okay, it's not. But looks here. Yeah, I probably should have guessed that from the APR prefix. APR meaning Apache portable runtime, as we can clearly tell from this. Looks like the return value is an APR status T. Okay, cool. Let's see. So this appears to be some like helpful documentation for this. Let's see if we can't see anything useful here. Port, DSO, path. Okay, one thing I'm going to just try doing to see if it gives us anything is I'm going to try just gripping for the APR status T. Maybe since that is the return value for, or at least according to this website, that's the return value for APR DSO load in addition to these two functions, which I could probably assume since they have very similar, like not, well, the functionality they have is very similar to what they are dealing with. Probably they are in the same source code file. So let's do a quick grep for this. Okay, cool. So we see there's a bunch of results to try. Okay. That came up with nothing. APR status, mload, MD store. Okay, that's interesting. APR DSO load. Hang on, I'm gonna take a moment, break at this command in GDB. Where is GDB? Actually, we're already at DSO load. Let's just make sure that this actually jumps to DSO load. Finish DSO jump. APR DSO load at PLT, which that means it's a function since it's not PLT. Yeah. Wait a second. It has a PLT. It's not just directly jumping to it, which means I had to resolve the address, which means it's... Actually, I'm just going to check something real quick. What? So it's that. This address is definitely not from the HTTPD segment, which that would mean that it's not compiled into the Apache binary, which means it's from an outside a library of some sort, which that would make sense since we're not seeing it in the source code, but since it's compiled into a different module, which is then loaded into memory similar to that of like libc or something. Question here is which one it is. Let's see. I know one of my friends submitted a pull request for that functionality. Cool. So yeah, one of my friends, he submitted a pull request that effectively for VM map, what it does is you can give it an argument to that and it will tell you, oh hey, this is the memory region that is associated with that. Now when you look at this, we see that it appears to be from the libapr module, which is cool. Libapr for like APR DSO load kind of makes sense. Now, since this is also Apache, I'm kind of guessing that it is also open source, so I'm just going to go ahead and try just Googling for the source code so I can use it. Libapr source code. Mirror of Apache portable runtime. Okay, cool. Let's try cloning this. Git clone. It's going to take a minute. I'm going to pause it while it clones. Okay, I'm back. So the cloning has finished. APR. So this is the source code. I'm not going to go ahead and build it right now. It might be helpful later on, so I can include potentially like debugging functionalities with that. But for now, I'm just going to try to go ahead and see if I can't find the source code for this function. So looking at this, looks like there's a ton of different versions of it. Wait. APR DSO load. Oh, okay, so what it looks like... Okay, this kind of makes sense. So what it looks like here is yeah, of course, there's a different bunch of different function declarations for that. Now, looking at this, you see like Win32, Unix. No, I'm pretty sure like different operating systems like Windows, Linux, how they handle stuff like connecting to a process and allocating memory and like inserting stuff, it's a bit different. So it appears that they have different functions written for those corresponding different ways to do it with the environments. And just taking a step back and just APR, Apache Portable Runtime, since being portable means you can kind of just like plug it in and just run it, and with different environments kind of makes sense like that, even though I might be rambling a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that it's probably that file right there, Unix. I might be smooth brained, it might be one of the others, but I'm just gonna guess that for now. I'm actually kind of curious as to how it's actually loading in the module into memory. So go to DSO, Unix, DSO.c. So let's do APR DSO load. Okay, let's just quickly check 1, 2, 3, 3 arguments. Let me get my window situated here. 3 arguments, 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Here we go. The handle, name, and pool, handle, name, pool. Okay, that lines up. ns create object file from file image from file. Here's one easy or potentially easy way to tell if this is the right file. We can just right now in GDB we have we've hit a breakpoint at the start of APR DSO load. We can just go ahead and disassemble this. Deal open, deal error. Okay, so it's pretty clear that this is not the file. We're seeing here like not a lot of instructions, and we see a call to DL open, APR, and DL error. We're not seeing here, we're seeing this like ns create object file. So this probably isn't it. I'm gonna try Hackery APR. Try grepping for DL open. Oh wait, this is DSL. Wait, no. Hang on, I've lost track of what I'm doing. What am I doing? I am okay. I closed that source code file. Okay, DSO Unix DSO.c. I'm gonna try opening that file again. Maybe I missed something. Hackery APR. Where is it? DSO Unix DSO.c. And it is the Actually, I just thought, we don't really need to find the source code right now. Reason for that, looking at this function simple enough, we can pretty much just tell that it calls dlopen, and let's see if it can't just do a quick man lookup for that. Dlopen, open and close a shared object. Function loads the Okay, cool. So we can say that basically it will just use dlopen to open up the module. That's how it loads it into memory. Cool. So we understand that part of the functionality. Effectively, from what it looks like, at the end of the day, it just iterates through all of them, gets the file name, and calls dlopen, DSO load. Where API DSO sim. Okay, I'm just taking a quick look. Looks like error check grabs the pointer to the actual module just loaded. Okay. I'm going to take a quick look through here. Scoff. Create, unload, load, load file, find the loaded modules, dump. So it looks like the functions in here pretty much just deal with loading and then unloading modules. One thing I'm kind of curious of, granted I don't know if this prop file definitely does not have it, and it might not even be in the Apache source code. One thing I'm kind of curious of is how Apache will interact with the modules. That's kind of like my next question that I have. So how will I do that? How will I handle that? Let me think. I'm going to pause it for a second while I think. So I just thought of a potential way. Let's delete. I'm going to hit the load a module breakpoint for a second. Since there's a ton of different modules that are being loaded in, this should be hit up once for every module that's being loaded in, which there's like a 1 to 2 dozen of them. I'm going to look at the stack trace again. This is stack trace. Invoke a command. Apira build config sub. Let's look at the main function real quick. What my plan is briefly look through these functions to understand the startup process. Then, if that might give me some introspection to how Apache interfaces with the modules. Actually, one thing I should probably do is Google, and yeah. So it's been 24 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and cut off this episode here. See you later.